Okay, this is a pretty crazy one. Check this out. We'll differentiate this function here. Notice that this is a product of two functions, and yeah, we will have to use a chain rule for this and that as well. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get to work. First off, let me write down f prime of x. And again, product rule says we are going to keep the first function, so we will have parentheses 2x minus 3 raised to the fourth power, and then we multiply by the derivative of the second. Derivative of this, well, we first bring the power to the front and then minus 1. So we will have 5 and then x squared plus x plus 1 raised to the fourth power. And notice that the inside stays the same. Now, we are going to multiply by the derivative of the inside because of the chain rule. Well, let's see, the derivative of x squared is 2x. And then the derivative of plus x is just plus 1. And because this has two terms, so be sure we put down a parentheses. Alright? So that is it for the first part. But we're not done yet because we have to do the second part of the product rule, which says we will have to add the second function, which I will write it down in red, right? X squared plus x plus 1 raised to the fifth power. And then we multiply by the derivative of the first. Derivative of the first, well, we bring the power to the front and then minus 1. So we will get 4 parentheses, and this right here stays the same, and raised to the third power, like that. And you know it, we are going to use the chain rule for this as well. So we multiply by the derivative inside, which is actually going to give us just 2. So that's pretty good. And now let's see if there's any simplification that we can do for this. There are a few things that we can do. For example, we see that this is raised to the fourth power, but this right here is raised to the third power, so we can factor out the third power, right? The smaller exponent. So let's do that. 2x minus 3 to the third power. And moreover, we see that this right here is to the fourth power, and this right here is to the fifth power, so we can factor out this to the fourth power. So x squared plus x plus 1 raised to the fourth power. Other than that, that's it, huh? So I'm just going to write down the rest in a big parentheses. Remember, we took out 3, so right here we have one more factor. So we'll write down parentheses 2x minus 3 to the first power. And then here we have the 5, so I'll just put it down in the front. And then here we have this factor, so I will still keep in blue, which is 2x plus 1. And then we add. Okay, we took out 4 of them, so we have one more factor left. So I'm going to write down parentheses x squared plus x plus 1. Okay, and lastly, we have 4 times 2, which is 8. So perhaps I'll just put it down right here at the end. And let me do this. So I wrote this down in black, and also I'll put it over blue. So it's dark blue, just to combine this and not together to be 8. And thankfully this is out already because I have no more space to do this. But anyway, perhaps inside here, let's just multiply things out and then combine terms. Yeah, that's how you end up with the answer in the back of the book. But anyway, have a look right here. So for this part, I would like to just multiply the parentheses first, right? So we get, let's see, 2x times 2x is 4x squared, and then this times this is this. Well, 2x times 1 is just 2x. Let me put it down here, because next we see this times this is negative 6x. Together we get negative 4x. And then next we do this times that, which is negative 3. Alright? And then let's see, multiply this out, we get 20x squared. This and that is minus 20x. And lastly, we have the minus 15. Done for that. And lastly, we distribute this backwards. Alright? So we will get plus 8x squared plus 8x plus 8. Whew. And then in the end, of course, we can combine terms, but let me just write down everything. So here we have parentheses 2x minus 3 to the third power times that, which is x squared plus x plus 1 raised to the fourth power. And lastly, I'll just combine like terms. So we see that this and that together is 28x squared. Good. And then we have negative 20x plus 8x, so that will be minus 12x. And lastly, here we have minus 15 plus 8, so that will be minus 7. All right, so let me just double check. Yeah, that's the answer in the back of the book. So here is the deal. This is the answer. And for this one, yeah, just kind of practice how you go from here to here and then do the simplification and enter the answer like this.